I have a question for you. How long does someone have to grieve their loss before they get into their next relationship? Number one. Number two, if my partner has died and I do get into a second relationship, will I still be grieving my partner? Or is being in that new relationship going to take away my grief?
All of the above. No, I'm just kidding. So that is a very good question because, and just think about prior to Tony having his surgery and the experience when you guys were preparing, and you saying on one of the last shows we recorded, you guys were having all the talks, right?
Yeah.
You were having all those difficult, challenging conversations. And you were assuring him that no matter what, you were going to be okay, because
Yeah.
that's ultimately his biggest concern.
Yeah.
I think when those conversations are had, when in general, in a relationship, when you have those real conversations and you talk about all the ugly things, what is it? It's getting you.
Well, excuse me. I thought it was a rat. I don't know. We're in a snowstorm and something just right in front of my window. Go ahead.
Oh God, I hope it wasn't a frozen rat. When you have all of those conversations, I think it puts you in a different grief space when that person passes away. When we have all of the pain and the just the deep debilitating pain, it's the undelivered communications, the things we never got to say that are in our heart. The
Yeah.
one more time of just letting him know he was my world, he was my
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
You know, and how much I truly appreciated all of his hard work and the commitment he gave to this family. Lewis and I have that. Well, it's mostly me telling him those things. But anyway,
And he takes it on.
you know, that makes a difference than if you just always assume somebody knows. They always, he knows how I feel. You know, he knows I love him. He knows this. I think when that happens, and then you look back, because we just had this other podcast, we talked about regret. That's where the regret comes from. It's the missed opportunities, the times when you should have went in the middle of the night to get ice cream and have ice cream desserts, or, you know, just little silly things, the pillow talk, staying up till 2:00 in the morning, just talking or watching a show, that kind of stuff. When we don't have those opportunities, or we carry this in our heart, I think that's what you and I refer to as actively grieving. We're actively hurting because we have so much we still wanted to say, so many things we still wanted to do. If you are in that place, right? You follow me? And then you're going out with Bob on Tuesday, I don't think that's a good mix.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. So it was an icicle.
Oh, okay. Sharon is new to Texas, so this whole freeze thing is foreign to her. We don't have this in California.
It's like, what the heck is that? Okay. What the first question I asked you is, can you get into a new relationship? Absolutely, you can get into a new relationship. And the truth is that we can't say when is when, and nobody else should say.
Yeah.
We see grievers getting in relationships in 2 weeks after their partner has died. We see it 6 months, 3 months, a year, 2 years, 10 years later. Only you get to decide when you're getting into the new relationship. That's number one. Number two, will you still grieve for your partner when you're in the new relationship? And I think the answer to that is yes. Because even the new partner is not going to do things the way your person did, right?
Right.
And so that'll cause a grieving experience. Thinking about them and the way he treated you and all the lovely things he used to do for you. Even if your new partner does something that's vaguely familiar, can bring up a grieving experience. It is absolutely okay to continue grieving while in your new relationship. But what you were sharing, we advise while you're actively grieving for your person that you do not get into a relationship. That is 100% our advice. We don't believe in replacing the loss.
No. There's a mindset, and we have these sayings, you know, there's more fish in the sea. The best way to get over someone is to get under someone new. Like all of these weird, morbid things that we tell people instead of work on yourself, get to a place of healing, and then you'll be open to the next chapter of your life and what that looks like for you. I do think that there's levels to our grief, and you say layers all the time. There's different layers. When you are at that layer where talking about your loved one makes you cry every single time, and you are then talking about, your new husband, I don't know. I feel like when you get to a place of healing, you feel it. You feel different, and you now are saying, okay, I don't want to be alone anymore. I'm ready. Then 2 weeks after, you're replacing the loss just because you want that physical
Yeah.
companionship.
Yeah. It's not uncommon for a griever to want to have sex immediately after a loss. And it's not so much the quote unquote, I'm putting the air quotes up here, the sex. It's more so that physical companion that tell me I'm okay, touch my body, give me the hug, let me know that I'm okay.
Just sleep in this bed with me, so I'm
Just
not
sleep in
sleeping
this
here by
bed with me.
myself.
I don't want to sleep by myself. Wow, that's huge. Okay. I need to bring something up though that I think is really important. You're more than we can't tell you when to get in your relationship. You can get in the relationship whenever you want, whenever you're ready. But one of the ground rules for that new relationship has to be, hey, I'm also bringing my ex-husband, my ex-partner into this relationship. There will be times that I still cry for him. There will be times that I talk about him. There will be times that I share our lives together. I'm going to tell you about the time we went to Italy. I may wake up crying in the middle of the night. So in other words, your new relationship has to understand that there's a grieving aspect going on still in your heart, and you bring that into the new relationship. Because when the new person, and this we've absolutely seen, comes in and it's like take down all of her pictures, take down her ashes off the fireplace. I don't want anything to see anything of your ex, your partner that has died, and your new person is now jealous of the person that's died.
Yeah.
That ain't the relationship you want to be in, my friend.
No, no, no. When you start your morning off with, well, that's not how Lewis made the coffee. Like,
Yeah,
red flag, red
yeah,
flag.
yeah,
Where did you put Lewis's hat that goes on this chair right here?
yeah,
That hat has to stay here. Like, those are things, signs that you are definitely not ready. You
yeah.
are not ready. And you're
Right.
moving into more of a replacement scenario than an actual, I'm opening this new door.
Right, Erica, but so I'm talking about two different aspects. Yes, I agree with you. Where's Lewis's hat? Where's his coffee cup? Don't move his coffee cup. Hey, put his ashes back over here on the pillow. That's yeah, yeah, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when your new partner comes in and makes you remove everything.
Right, right.
So they make you get rid of every picture and just get rid of everything that reminds them. Like we could really be jealous of the person that we never even met.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what happens a lot in all across the board grief is we enshrine the person. We
Yeah.
enshrine them. So now you've got this saint who walked on water that you were
Yeah.
married to, and Bob is just regular old Bob. And so, yes, there's going to be some jealousy and some resentment because Bob's never going to be able to live up to the saint.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the things that I thought was so endearing, we've done shows about our mom getting remarried, and we got to go visit their house. It was my first time. You had already been at Thanksgiving, and they have a beautiful house, and in the hallway there's big collages. His wife has passed away, and then our father's passed away, and they have a big collage, two huge ones for his family, of his wife, pictures of the kids, pictures of grandkids. And then she said that Charlene is going to help her put together some of our family too. And I thought, what a beautiful concept. They're not trying to erase and act like those previous lives
Yeah.
existed. They're embracing them and blending the families,
Yeah.
even with the death. I
Yes.
thought that was beautiful and very healthy.
Well, I agree with you 100%. And he's the one that was like, I want you to put up a picture of you and Tony. Our dad's name was Tony as well. I want to you to put up a picture of you and Tony next to, so they both were able to share their 50th wedding anniversaries, and they both have photos from them. So they each have them side by side, which I think, yeah, I agree with you. It's very healthy. The truth is, you can't walk into a new relationship and act like that one didn't happen.
No, no, you cannot.
You
And
can't
you
act like they didn't exist.
right. Yeah. It's important to acknowledge, but again, recognizing where you should have boundaries. You shouldn't, talk about it like it was the best you ever have and you're just settling for Bob.
Right. So if you get into a new relationship and you don't let them know that you're still grieving your person, what ends up happening is that you start hiding that grief from them.
Yeah.
You start hiding the grief and the experience from them when it does show up, and it causes suffering.
Mhm.
We talk about causing undue suffering. That causes suffering when you're not able to share. So one of the ground rules needs to be, or the conversation needs to be had, hey, I would love to hang out with you more and go out to dinner with you more. I think it's great. But I need to let you know that I still am sometimes from time to time still having grieving episodes of my person.
Yeah. And anyone who tells you that that's crazy, it's been 10 years, whatever, that's also a red flag because you don't want anyone telling you when it's time to
Yeah.
not talk about the person, to bring up memories about the person or anything because they're insecure about it.
Yeah. 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 You have to go into it with that open mind about whether I can talk about him or not, whether I can
Mhm.
share stories about him or not. That's absolutely huge. So it's absolutely okay to feel relief when someone dies. I'm sorry, that's a wrong free. I'm on the wrong path. It's absolutely okay to be in a new relationship, and it's absolutely okay to talk about that person. That should be the ground rules and the foundation.
Right. But there's a fine line between sharing memories and sharing that person in the new relationship and giving that person like they have angel wings and like your life, I think that's where we got to really be careful. You got to tell the good and the bad. You can't only tell about the good because it's like in a divorce. You know what I mean? When you go through a divorce, you broke up for a reason. So you got to remember that there's good and bad to everything, and you can't put the person who's passed on this pedestal that the new person you're trying to bring into your life can never attain that same level of sainthood.
So, Erica, what you just described is the difference between two people being in a relationship and three people being in a relationship.
Mhm. And the third
That's
person
the
being the
difference.
the
And the third person
with the
being dead.
halo. Yeah.
Yeah. And the third person being dead. I mean, that's the absolute truth. That's what you
Yeah.
just described. And so that's where I guess also our grieving friends need to know the difference between, is it time for me to get in a relationship or not?
Right.
Is, am I going to be in a relationship with two people as opposed to just with one person?
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely okay to be in your new relationship and still be grieving your person. I think it's absolutely okay when done in a healthy way.
Yes.
Done in
Yes.
a healthy way. But when you get to the point where, there is absolutely three people, which is what you're describing, that's a
Mhm.
totally different
A
situation.
throuple. That's what we call it, a throuple.
Okay. But earlier, what I was sharing, and that's where I think it keeps getting confused and mixed up, in that is having the person where you're three, but having the new person come in and want you to erase the whole,
Right.
and to
Yeah.
make sure that it's two. That's not healthy either.
No, no. There has to be a place of acceptance for understanding. 'Cause sometimes, like we just shared about our mom, sometimes both people are coming in with a loss.
Yeah.
So, that's a completely different dynamic because you have to respect that person's grief journey is not going to be the same as yours. But when the only one person has experienced a loss and the other person hasn't, you cannot allow that person to dictate what you do with your grief and how you are grieving or remembering your partner.
Yeah. They have no say over that.
No.
They have no say over that. And I just find that the grievers that we know that are in their next relationship when they know they can talk about their loved one openly, it's just so much better. It's so much healthier. And we've seen the new partners encourage the
Mm.
grieving process, encourage the grieving. Hey, let's get t-shirts with photos of your loved one on them.
Yes.
Hey, let's go to this park that your loved one used to love going to. Oh, hey, let's go to Chuck E. Cheese and get pizza on your loved one's birthday. Like when they are also helping you with the grieving process, that's the healthy way that it should be done,
Right.
instead
That
of the
is.
jealousy that can sometimes show up.
And I think that's when you know that it is the relationship for you,
Yeah,
because that out of their love and care for you, they want to support your healing process and your grief journey, and they respect it. So instead of just trying to shut it down, well, that's stupid. He died. He's not
yeah,
here anymore. You need to just move on.
yeah,
That's not good. Not good at all, because no one can make that decision for you at all, and nor should they try to. It should be something that um should be respected, because that person was part of your life for doesn't matter how many years you were together.
okay, question. You got the active griever,
Yeah,
goes into a new relationship and chooses not to share their person with the new relationship at all. Is that okay?
I feel like that is concerning, because it's like,
Okay,
what is the reasons? If I'm not sharing because I so want to keep it safe and don't want you to say anything about that one or comment, so I'm not even going to share it with you, that's going to create a barrier. You're not
yeah,
really opening yourself to the possibility of this new love if you're not sharing yourself freely. But the conversation needs to be had. I need to share this with you, and I need you to listen, and don't judge me, don't give me advice about it. This is just who I'm sharing with you, and I'll share in my own way and in my own time.
yeah,
It can't be forced.
yeah, I agree. Okay. We've also had calls from the new person in the relationship. Hey, I started dating this woman, but she's still grieving the loss of her child, and I want to be able to help her. Right. So we get those calls all the time.
Mhm.
Get those calls, we give them the tips on how to talk to a griever, how to talk grief, right? But sometimes there's some major red flags that the griever is really not ready to be in a relationship, even though they're showing up for that relationship. There's some major red flags. And as much as we want to say, hey, dude, get your bags and run, we don't ever say that. But being the new person going into a relationship with a griever, you also need to be cautious about that.
Yeah.
Is she disappearing weeks on end without calls and you don't know what's going on? Has she gone through enough healing
Right.
to be in a healthy relationship? Has all of the first taken place? The first Christmas, the first birthday, the first, and has the second taken place, which is also can be huge. So you kind of, as the new person going in a relationship, you have the right to judge whether it's healthy enough for you.
Mhm.
Because do you want to step into a thrussle?
Throuple.
Throuple?
Yeah, that is true. That it sometimes it has to be Bob that's coming
Yeah,
in saying, I don't think she's ready.
yeah,
Because if you can't call her or visit her on the anniversaries and
yeah,
special days or Christmas, she won't even allow you over because she's crying so much.
yeah,
Those are things that you need to know she's not ready.
yeah. Red flag?
Yep.
Yeah. So there's a lot to think about and evaluate when you are grieving and deciding to, one, just deciding that you're ready to date, two, meeting someone new and where that's going to go and what path you're going to take that on. I am sitting here today telling you we have no judgment either way. You
No.
do you, boo, but we
Yeah.
will be here to help you. Oh, I made a poem.
Write it down so you don't forget it. That should be our tagline. Hello, healing starts with the heart. You do you, boo, and we're here to help you.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm gonna use this one. If you want more of my poems, you can find them in our Facebook group. Um, The tag is in the show notes here, and it is Hope Heal Recover. And it is an amazing group of women that get together and we just share our grief. We just like are trying to help each other and hold the space for one another. And we really just put out questions like, hey, where are you struggling today? What do you need help with? What do I need to know about your grief today? Just
Right.
throwing questions out there, and you can just put in a quick answer, and other women are putting it in the answers, and other women are supporting one another as we're going through this. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
It's something about being easier to share yourself with strangers than
Yeah.
with your family, because that's the one thing I love, and the beauty of it is so far since we started it, they don't judge, they're not critical, they're not hard on each other, they're very
Yeah.
loving and empowering, and I that's beautiful. It's beautiful to witness.
Yeah. So goodbye, friends. We'll see you on the other side.
Bye, friends.